Everyone, the time is here. The time to show you my latest creation in Simple Planes is finally here. I present to you the Zuben KL-11. Yes, I'm currently in the builder. However, as you can see, this boy is thick. This boy is really quite, genuinely thick. Yeah, I've been working on this on and off for the past few days. And, oh boy, I have some stuff to show you. Welcome everybody back to Zuben Gaming. So I have been reading some of the comments on this video. And one of them said to do, I think it's Plants vs Zombies 2. Possibly make a series on it. I'll put up this person who said that on screen with their comment. Yeah, thank you very much for that request. Your comment will most likely be made into a video. I have hearted it, so it will be attempted. Anyway, back to the plane. So, this is the KL-11. There it is. Just to show you, I'm going to press it. Boom, it loads the plane. Now, with basically every single plane, there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of them. Oh boy, this is quite a good plane. Let's get into this. Okay, so here we are in the game with our beautiful KB-11. So, like I say, it's not that big, but it is kind of big. It's my most engined plane. It's the plane with the most amount of engines I have, apart from the A380. Which I think is probably one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Anyway, let's go and check out the cockpit. Oh yes. This is not that bad of a cockpit in my eyes. So we have trim, as you can see. Oh, and by the way, the devs of Simple Planes, there was a small new update, and they added new levers. Oh, Jesus. So I took that to my advantage. I used them to my advantage. So here we have these little trim / flap levers. And here we have the throttle levers. As you can see, we have the throttle levers. I'm now having some issues trying to get the camera to zoom out. So, if you remember in the last Simple Planes video where I showed off my latest creations, this video, you will remember that this cockpit looked very different to how it does now. However, my most prized part is the overhead panel, and also, this is the overhead panel camera. So this is the overhead panel camera, because yeah, I have an overhead panel camera. Because, if you didn't notice, if we go over to the pilot thing, it's a little bit difficult to press some of the switches. I had some technical difficulties while doing it, so I added a separate camera to be able to view the overhead panel. So, yeah, it's just a basic overhead panel. A lot of my overhead panels are quite basic. I do put effort into them, and also, you've probably seen that big red button with the words parachute on it. We'll get into what that does later in the video. First though, let's just go and start up the plane. Oh, by the way, this is VR friendly. Basically, all of my other planes, you couldn't technically use them with VR because they had no yaw. There was no yaw ability. So, because if you're on mobile or PC, you can use PC controls for yaw, However, in VR, you don't have those controls. Instead, you actually have to have like specific things built in. So I decided to build in a yaw lever, and actually that is another one of the new levers. Anyway, let's go and start this plane up. So let's turn on the fuel pumps. Oh, the fuel tanks, I guess. I was going to turn on the battery, the APU, and the generators. Engine 1 ignition. Now this is this is the coolest part. Engine 1 starter. If we look on the outside view, you will see that the engine has actually started up and is spinning. I made it so that it spins. The engine actually spins, unlike the rest of my planes. Now it does actually move the aircraft very slightly. If you look to the very bottom left, I'll have a zoom thing, but if you do look very closely, it is moving the plane. In fact, you can literally see it angling the aircraft. So it is recommended that you start all of the engines up quite fast here. There we go, they all spin as well. The force of the 4 engines being on and rotating at the same time is it's enough to move the plane quite fast. Anyway, let's go ahead and take off. Flaps, let's go and take off from cockpit view. So yeah, here we go. So that we're in the air. Now I did actually make a quite unique landing gear animation. There's something quite unique for the landing gear here. So if we have a look at the landing gear, there it is. It goes in quite nicely. Let's see that again. There we go. I am almost upside down, holy moly. So I wanted to do some tests with this thing today. Let's also just have a look at that landing gear animation once again. There we go. The wheels do stick out slightly, but who cares? So yeah, this is basically a cargo aircraft that I made, and it's honestly quite fun to fly. However, you want to know what this red button is, don't you? You want to know what this does? Let's just cut out the engines. Say that we've just had all of the engines fail. We're now in a bit of a Cirrus situation. Because the Cirrus, when the engine goes out, or like you can't get the engine back on, well, the plane has a parachute. And so me being me, I, for some reason, decided to put a parachute on this aircraft. Do not ask me why, but I decided to put a parachute on it. And so, if we go ahead and glide over to land here, because this thing has literally no such thing as buoyancy, we can now go ahead and press AG1. That's going to activate the parachutes. They will slow us down. I feel like those are smaller than what they used to be. Alright, let's try this again. I just modified the parachutes because for some reason they were a much smaller size than what they were supposed to be. Which means we died much faster than we were supposed to. Right. Parachutes. Oh yeah, those are way larger. So yeah, these are the parachutes that come out from the back from the aircraft's tail. As you can see, 60 knots, and we are currently falling, and we hopefully should survive. Hopefully being the key word. The wing is on fire, but we are alive. The engine is flying. It's just erupted into flames. But we are alive. Disconnect the parachutes. We are alive and we are not dead. That's the good thing about this. We're not dead. We're not dead, are we? So I'm gonna watch this crash here. Ooh, yeah, that's not what you want. You don't want that to be the end of your life. That's a bad way to go. That's a bad way to go. That's a bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, the wings are. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not a nice way to go. At all. Oh. It's the tail. So yeah, that's the basic showcase of the plane. It's now time for me to do a full flight, land it, and then we'll finally, for the end of the video, do some wind tests. Unless I can find something a bit more ridiculous. Let's speedrun the startup procedure. Look at that. Already started up. Alright, here we go. Take off. There we go. We're into the air. So we're just gonna do what I did in this video, where if I overrun the runway, the video ends. We're basically just gonna do what I did in that video. Check out the maneuverability on this thing is holy. This thing's actually not that maneuverable compared to some of my other planes. Then again, it is meant to be a massive cargo plane, so you know. Let's go and lower the engine throttle. Now, it would also actually be kind of helpful to use the parachute on stopping, especially on short runways. We'll try that out later. We'll try that out in a minute. Actually, yeah, we'll try that out. Right, here we go. Ooh, I did. Okay, this time I actually have the landing gear down. Guys, if you want to slate me, go ahead and do it in the comments. Because I kind of need to be slated after that. I've done that like so many times. That's like the third time I've done that. Right, anyway, coming in for a landing. It's going to deploy the parachute. I don't even think we need. We didn't even need the parachute really. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it is technically 4 parachutes bundled up together. Nobody needs to know that though. Right. I think it's time for the final challenge. The power of wind. Wind settings. Oh, don't I love this thing. Goodness. Let's go ahead and try to take off with a 60-mile-an-hour headwind. I'm already almost dying. Oh my goodness. Okay, I took off with 60-mile-an-hour headwinds. 200-mile-an-hour headwinds. Look at the airspeed. It's going crazy. The airspeed's going nuts. Oh my. What am I damaging? Oh my god. Alright, time to do some stuff that I used to do in my older videos. Oh god, I've lost the tail! So, it turns out that if the winds start to go sporadic and they're at 200 miles an hour, you will whip the tail off. Your aircraft has been critically damaged. Let's see this critical damage. Where's the critical damage? I'm interested to figure out if this can still take off. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, this thing is absolutely badass. Oh, never mind, we're dying. I still think that this, even without a vertical stabilizer, I still think this flies better without a vertical stabilizer than Ryanair does with a vertical stabilizer. Then again, I'm pretty sure Ryanair lands a little bit better than that. Anyways, folks, I think that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. Yeah. I guess until next time, until I have something else to do, I just don't really know what I'm saying, okay? I've just been some crazy stuff happening, because, you know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I hope you've enjoyed. Take care, everybody.